Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Seaweed Brain, a Percy Jackson podcast. We're still on the Throne of Fire, still in the Kane Chronicles, but today we're doing something a little bit different. We're going to London. Stick around.
Woohoo! Welcome back to Seaweed Brain. Isn't it? We have Owen here, resident British person.
Hello.
We were gonna have both of our resident British Percy Jackson podcast friends, but Fran couldn't make it, so we have Owen here representing as we go to London in these 4 chapters. How are you doing, Owen?
Doing well. Excited to talk about Throne of Fire again and the London chapters again.
Did you do this with Fran on Fran's podcast?
I've done it on a few.
Oh boy! This was actually Robert's idea. Robert was like, "You better get Owen and Fran on for your London chapters 7 and 8," and I did that without doing any pre-research. So thanks for coming on again. Sorry.
Hey, I enjoy talking about these chapters because I get to nitpick them the same way the New Yorkers nitpick
all of
Last
Percy
Olympian.
Jackson.
Yeah, exactly. I can.
And these are good chapters.
They're fun.
I mean, sorry, Carter. I think we probably said this a lot for Red Pyramid 2, as in Carter Kane. Sorry, Carter Kane, but Sadie really gets the good chapters. Sadie is so that girl in this section.
I think we're going to round the corner soon. Carter gets
Once
some
Zia
fun
comes
stuff
back
to
into the
do
picture.
mid to late in this book, but yeah, it was a little dark and nasty to have this particular comparison of like he's at home preparing to go do something, and then Sadie's chapters are a date, reconciliation with old
The
friends
power
and
of female
family,
friendship.
the power of female friendship, fashion, destroying a subway. Yeah, it's tough.
So good.
But I do think
so
that.
good.
Do we feel like it's a particularly British moment in the culture right now? I kind of think that I have been.
Are we in a very British time in our lives, Carter?
Hang on.
I wasn't intending for this to be the case, but we're rereading this. The Olivia drop is particularly British.
That's so true.
And the Charlie drop is also particularly, drop in progress. We're in the process of gearing up for this album cycle, but it's like a really extra British album cycle for her as well, in my opinion.
Owen, are you in a very British time in your life? I ask you as you have a picture of a windmill on your wall behind you.
Yes, I am having a very British time at the moment. Partly because, 1, I live here. 2, it's coming home. Come on. That's for all the football people out there. I know, listen to this. There are people, I know there are football people that listen to this, thanks to the Patreon. Thanks to the Patreon, I know people.
Oh, for sure. It's the World Cup.
So yeah, it's coming home. But yeah, British, isn't it?
Owen said it, not me. By the way, I'm Erica if you're joining us for the first time. Joined as always by Carter Nakamoto, not Kane. And we're talking about chapters 5 through 8 today. We're about to face the biggest villain of the series, the weight of responsibility and the despair of growing old. Before we dive into chapter 5, we're going to thank our new patrons in the last week who clearly wanted to listen to our Olivia Rodrigo episode, Charlotte and Adeline, and our sustaining patrons, James, Izzy, Ellen, Jennifer Ito, my mother, Natasha, and Sabrina. We last left off with Sadie stepping into an empty apartment of her grandparents in London, knowing that she was about to face a monster. We have 5 days until the spring equinox to get the scrolls of Ra put together. There's 3 of them. We need them in order to raise him from the dead, in order to fight Apophis. Zia's trapped in the Red Sands. Bast isn't helping because she has to go check on Apophis. It's Sadie's birthday today, and she doesn't want to help either, but seems like she's going to be thrown into the pit of responsibility. So sorry, Carter Kane, get Carter Kane out of the way.
This is part of what is so dark and nasty is his 2 chapters are just existing in a cliffhanger for Sadie's chapters. Isn't that disrespectful?
Poor guy.
I feel like there's something
It
about
is funny though.
this is still relatively early days in Rick's whole trading POVs, trying to pace different narrators.
Son of Neptune concurrent.
Yes. This would have been the 3rd book that he's writing where he's doing this. And I feel like part of what we're experiencing is, I think Carter's still in the process of getting fleshed out at this point in the narrative. But also, I think that the pacing isn't quite there. I think that there are some moments where disrespectful is one way to put it, but I feel like the timing is just not ideal. I don't know. If we have this like uneven, some of them are cliffhangers that are hanging over the other person's. We'll watch this space.
Yeah, it's funny that he's just kind of like, well, now I'm teaching. Oh, like whole dragging.
You feel like
out
Sadie's about to get killed, and now it's time to remember a dream and have a practice session. So
yeah,
how about that?
I actually had the opposite thought starting off with this chapter and listening to the audiobook, which I did again. Spoiler alert: Sadie has not gotten less British. As we were hypothesizing last week, she's just as British, if not more British, in the audiobook narration. I kind of like that. The alternating POV, it makes the pacing feel kind of clipped in the sense that like we're only getting half the story at a time. So like knowing that in a sense, like Sadie's chapter also gave me like a baby cliffhanger because I was waiting to find out what Carter had seen in his dream last night. So I feel like it's really driving for me is the sensation I'm getting because I keep being like, wait, what are we're picking up on something that the other person hasn't elaborated on yet, and we got to go back to it.
To be clear, I'm conceptually very on board with that. Like, obviously, this had to be a two-hander. I just feel like the severe short shrift is tough. It's tough.
Yeah, poor Carter. He basically had a dream of Apophis
doing Apophis things,
escaping. Being evil, glowing with a demonic red light beneath crunchy scarab shells.
It's fun imagery where the like prison for Apophis is described as formerly all of these manifestations of one of the forms of Ra, as we discussed last week, the scarab beetle and the dawn, and now us seeing all of them withered, dead, decaying, as this pulse of light and movement is kind of trying to struggle and break through this basically mass of bug corpses. I found this imagery to be quite exciting. And this is also his reunification with Horus and us dipping our toe back into this fascinating conceit of the shared body dialogue between the god and our teenage host. A little bit less quippy than I remember it being, but maybe it's because they've had some time apart and they need to find their comedic rhythm again.
Yes, yeah, they've had an awkward amount of long distance in their relationship. I'm also saying, Carter, we made the exact same note in like different wording about the burden of responsibility part of these chapters, where it's like really coming through that this was part of Carter's internal conflict and like stress in book one when it came to his relationship with his dad and having to like live up to his dad's particular idea about what it means to be a man and how to survive as a black man in the world in particular, you know, including what Sadie commented on last week with dressing to the nines and always being perfect and showing up perfect. And now his father's out of the way, but he has this role as teacher and he's feeling that same tension on himself, but like to a heightened degree because it's not just him and his dad. Now it's him and all of these young people and also saving the world. And so he's stressed out about like what it means to be a good teacher and showing up that way. And Sadie's having the same thing with teaching and also with trying to take care of her friends and everything. So it's like it's amplifying in this book, which I like and appreciate.
He used to be the follower and now he is the teacher.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. And that's true for both of them. That like Sadie, as much as she's an iconoclast, like having responsibility for other people is new for her. And I'm enjoying seeing these early threads of that where it's clearly affecting their relationship in analogous ways, but they're not talking about it yet. So at this point, it's kind of just hovering over as this toxicity that they were both, that this pressure is making it harder for them to communicate with each other clearly, rather than being what it presumably will be later in the book, this source of kinship and bonding for them to kind of lock in together on.
Yeah.
One can hope.
I like that Horus comes in here and is like, this plan you came up with? No. Given that he was the one who literally led them to the statue that had the scroll of Ra, and then being like, wait, should I be in charge? Doesn't that sound better? And Carter's kind of like, oh, I don't know. But also, I'm stubborn and everyone's telling me not to, so maybe I should, which makes him just like Sadie in a way that he is not really self-aware about.
As a moment. When he's going through this internal monologue and he's giving a little bit of reasoning why concretely, Apophis is only really afraid of one deity. Horus has faced challenges, but they're not really at this scale before. But at the end of it all, he kind of says, ultimately, maybe I'm just Enneagram 8 and I'm just gonna...
Come on! Use some Enneagram knowledge. Let's go, Carter. Yes.
I only know 2 of them, and I only really...
3 and
Polar's
8.
Enneagram 8. I think I've talked about this before. Like, this is the only person I've heard talk about this at length. Amy Poehler, and as it turns out, Coleman Domingo. So, I don't know. Like, just the phrasing at the end of him saying, like, ultimately the reason why I'm doing this is not any of the reasons I just explained to you, but just the fact that everyone keeps telling me it's a bad idea, so it's probably a good idea, was so funny.
I feel the same way about all the finance people. But moving on.
Yeah. No, I think that's true. And it is healthy to have some amount of this inherent skepticism of authority, and for it to be this sibling thing where for most of the book they are portrayed as opposites, and that kind of one of them is restrained, one of them is wilding out. Dynamic is only like able to work if you have like these 1 or 2 things that are kind of surprising and unifying about them, including their shared mistrust of authority and shared discomfort with leadership.
It's a great mini dynamic in a book that is more largely, and a world more largely about the balance of 2 opposing forces that only exist because each other exists. Between what is the opposite of chaos? Are we saying peace?
Order.
Order is the word, right? Order. Ma'at.
I don't know how to read that apostrophe because it's not an okina.
That's
like
not
I
an
don't
okina.
like we read it as a glottal stop because that's how Hawaiian works, but
I don't know, but
pronounce it mat, like it's 1 syllable.
Yeah,
right?
I like elongate the A's. It's like mart, like make it posh.
I think it's beautiful to root your
Wikipedia
personality and identity in knowledge that you are not something else. You know, that is always great. And then also on top of that, knowing that at the end of the day, we are all the same. That's what I'm getting out of this one specific dynamic that we're speaking of, with Carter being like, I will not do that thing because everyone's telling me to. But at the end of the day, he is just the same as Sadie.
Do we think he's right? Obviously, the narrative is going to bear out his perspective, but a priori, if you were in this position, wouldn't you... I think Horace makes a lot of sense to me. Why are we getting Grandpa out of the retirement home when
Grandpa doesn't necessarily want to?
Grandpa doesn't want to. We don't know if he's ready. He's like maybe not all the way there in his facilities. And like Horace makes some good... He's like, you and I already have a relationship. I'm currently king. Why don't we just...
Why not?
Why don't we run with that? We kind of have a whole thing. We're all set up. We're ready to go.
It is Horace who poses the question, like, what if he doesn't want to be woken up, right?
Yeah.
But then Horace wants to keep the power.
Yes.
That's true.
It is a fun
not the
dynamic
ideal alternative.
where you don't totally know how much of this is his ambition, but then he is trying to balance that out within this conversation where we're also kind of mind melding because the whole former host thing, where he's saying like, I'm still going to give you the instructions to find the Book of Ra. And if you want to do that, we're going to do that. I'm just saying like, maybe it should be me. Did we all watch Conclave?
I did watch Conclave.
This is Stanley Tucci. Horace is Stanley Tucci in Conclave. And I don't think that this is a dynamic that is borne out in that many places of somebody being like, I mean, for the movement, I guess maybe...
You're doing Stanley Tucci doing gay voice in Conclave as Horace is what you're saying. Stanley Tucci in Conclave doing gay voice cast as Horace.
Yes, I think that is the dynamic of saying like, obviously I'll step aside. It's we're just doing it, but like maybe it should be me. Maybe it has to be me. Many people are saying.
It
is a fun...
I'm saying.
And then we have to say goodbye to Bast. Sad.
Bye-bye.
She better be back. If this is a whole... It just occurred to me that this could be like a whole book without Bast, and that's making me upset.
I'm scared for us. I'm scared for her.
This cannot go well for her.
Yes. This is the ultimate re-traumatization. Like, we rescued you from prison, and now you're going to go back?
My mum
to the prison where like the whole point was you were about to die?
Yeah.
I really don't know.
And we're going to the place where Mom died in this set of chapters too. So it's particularly,
a lot of re-traumatization for us.
Scary.
In this section. But she's serving. So let's celebrate that.
She is always serving when she leaps out of the window. Oh, amazing.
The concept of floor-length trench with full body cat suit and a heel and a high pony, and you make your exit by jumping off the side of the building.
Is she still Muffin?
She always was and never was Muffin. And always will be and never shall be again. This is how you do a good podcast. You just
say words in a sentence and like, that works. Why not?
Several organized religions where you just say that a contradiction is true and leave people to sit in it.
I blame Christian elementary school for making me feel perfectly confident answering your question that way. Because when I was like, how is God also Jesus? Yeah. And they were like, he just is. And I was like, okay.
I mean, there's Christianity. There's like all the koans where like, that's the whole, what is the sound of one hand clapping? And you're just supposed to feel accomplished for having said that? Like, oh, girl, I don't, but that's
so us. Yeah.
We're drawing in a higher cross-cultural spiritual tradition.
That's the sound.
I want our listeners to imagine what Owen is doing with his hands right now. It's very impressive.
And that's the secret to Zen, is to imagine what Owen's doing with his hand right now.
Anyway, it's time for homeschooling. This made me giggle when he's like, I just kind of like let the kids, especially coming from Rick Riordan, famous educator of children, being like, we're just doing tasks, and when they complete the task, they're free to be done with school for the day instead of doing like mindless busy work.
And he's correct. The thing is, like, the educational research is there. Like, you should do project-based learning. Absolutely. Is he doing a great job of the project-based learning? Maybe not, but
everyone's being so specific with their tasks that like it's a lot harder to coordinate than traditional school, which they also all go to, I believe.
There's some like more formal education, but it's all kind of giving homeschool in the sense of it's not really formal scheduling and everyone's at a different level and we're just trying to make it work. What this really reminds me of in some ways is grad school, which is very much like this, where everyone is so specialized that all you can say is there's a task that you should be able to do, and why don't you all work on that? And if
with
you have
your
some
individual
questions,
skill
we
set,
can ideate together or something.
Oh, grad school in Brooklyn. And this section I really did like. I was like, ooh, magic school. This is really fun. We don't get to read a lot of this in Half-Blood times. And so this was really fun. I did like hearing how everybody did their individual magic, and Carter got to just sit back and watch. I feel like I have a familiar frame of reference for this in like TV, but it's not something I get to read a lot in the Riordan verse.
It's the establishing shot in TV.
Yes.
Which
this would adapt really well into like a... Yeah, this would adapt really well.
Like a visual medium.
Period. Like, I don't.
Visual
they should get on that.
Maybe audio visual.
They should get on that.
Maybe I think animated, but like we're gonna give them the flexibility to do what they need to do about that.
But they should get on it, definitely. Yeah. If you're listening,
they should get on. Yeah.
If anyone's listening, I don't know who listens to this, but they should get on it.
30 seconds before I opened this recording call, I saw that Quinta Brunson signed an overall deal to Disney Plus. So I don't know.
Are you saying that Quinta Brunson should adapt?
Do you not want to see Quinta Brunson play Horace?
I do think she would do a good job, and her take on the pedagogical aspects of this book would be, I'm sure, deeply felt and well informed.
I'm just saying, someone's got to do it.
And they should be funny. Yeah.
Someone's got to show run the Kane Chronicles. They can be movies. It doesn't have to be a showrunner.
There's an attack that happens. It's this very cool visual of a 3-headed serpent with wings. Goes down pretty easy, but foreboding, shakes everyone's emotional spirit. Not so good. I will also flag that this is, over these 2 chapters is where we're actually meeting Walt. I feel like we got the introduction that this is a person who's going to be relevant, and he's mostly relevant because Sadie kind of maybe has a crush on him. Maybe.
Who knows?
In those first 4 chapters. But now we're like actually meeting him. And we're meeting him fascinatingly through Carter, who initially was just like, he's a guy, he dresses like this, maybe he's hot, that's not for me to say. But Carter like doesn't have any friends, high key, right? Like prior to this, he's hung out with Bast, who's closer to Sadie, and also like a full adult / goddess Sadie, who's his sibling, and Zia, who is his maybe romantic interest, and also was a clay doll the whole time, right? He doesn't actually have any pure platonic, same age, no Confucian overtones relationships. And I think it's really interesting that that's how we're being introduced to Walt, is through that lens, as just Carter's friend who is chilled out, strange, has this mysterious gray dust power that is maybe reminiscent of Nico and Bianca.
Whoa, didn't pick up on that. Nice. I really liked Carter having a friend.
Yes, it's nice to see him having a friend, and a friend who is really different from all of the friends of men who exist throughout Rick Riordan's other writing. I don't think he's ever written low-key like a cool straight boy to just be somebody's friend. I guess Beckendorf for like the 2 chapters that we really got to see him and Percy interact, but that's kind of the...
And the one short story.
Yeah. But like, Nico doesn't count, Grover doesn't count, Tyson doesn't count. There are no other boys in Magnus' case, right? Like,
Jason definitely doesn't count.
Just a bunch of non-binary elves.
Jason definitely doesn't count because that's... I guess you could say Jason and Leo, but that's just really not the same dynamic.
Leo does
I think there's
not
something
count.
about Walt being unambiguously straight and just cool that is taking us into uncharted territory. Like, Carter's like a little bit trying to impress him the whole time and being like, oh, like, I don't really know what to do about this. Clearly Cuckoo likes him better because he's better at basketball than me. I think it's very fun and interesting.
I really like also when Carter was kind of spiraling at the end of chapter 6 that Walt was able to come in and they could just kind of chit chat, you know? That was really nice.
Yes. And that's like a low-key chit chat.
Bros being bros.
There was some emotional intelligence, but we're not saying a lot of words. It felt very, very different, very lived in, very, very heterosexual. Boys get to have experiences too.
As the experts on that, yes, we declare it authentically heterosexual boy conversation. Ding.
Ding, checked it. Yes.
As the representative, I will second that.
One of 3 heterosexual boys to ever come on Seaweed Brain podcast, Owen. Then it's time to also re-traumatize Amos, as you said, Carter. We're doing a lot of that.
I felt so bad. We're doing so much of that. He's done so much work on it. He literally just got back from his vacation 3 months in therapy. And now we're saying, do you think this is the person who violently possessed your body or the person who was controlling him while he was violently repossessing your body?
Yeah.
And it was the latter. Maybe. Probably.
Shout out Face of Horror. I mean, we don't like what Face of Horror did, but we do love Face of Horror.
Iconic comedic figures in literature. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the great names in literature.
I'm seeing a note here that says Chekhov's second most powerful magician in the world.
Yes. When Amos is trying to explain Vlad the Inhaler, which, oof, that unfortunately, amazing epithet, but damn. Is this like a little ableist to like people who chain smoked in their youth? Like, I kind of think so. But anyway, Vlad the Inhaler is named as the 3rd most powerful magician. That's part of what we're establishing, that he's from Russia. He is actually shady. You thought Desjardins was shady. Amos is saying, actually, no, Desjardins is not shady, just a little bit. He maybe plays both sides, maybe susceptible to persuasion, which I thought was a little bit funny. There's this like description of Amos kind of wistfully looking off as he's saying that. Like, if I'd stayed a little bit longer, I could have gotten him.
Do we think they used to be boyfriends?
It's kind of giving. What was the relationship between Desjardins and Amos like during the 3 months that they're living together? And what was it before?
We have a lot of these questions in the Kane Chronicles. I would take a backstory book about the previous generation. I would take a book about Amos
of like
and
the
Bast
2 of them fighting for Iskandar's approval, and it maybe being a little sensual, as they were doing so. Yeah. Wow.
And I'm sure there's fanfic. I'm sure there is.
Yeah, and not to lean too hard into the trope of like every wizard is lovers to enemies homosexual, but aren't they though? Like, isn't that a universal truth of fiction and literature, that every pair of wizards who are currently on opposite sides used to be in a relationship?
Or could be in the future.
Yeah. Anyway, the Chekhov second most powerful magician thing is referring to Amos laying it out. I love a power scaling. For him to say, okay, Desjardins, number 1. Vlad the Inhaler, number 3. And Carter explicitly goes, okay, so then who's number 2? And Amos just kind of laughs. That's Chekhovian, is it not? Like, we're going to meet number 2, and that's going to be important. But also, I was a little bit like, is it not Amos? Is that not how we're supposed to feel about this? Unclear.
Is it?
I know the answer.
Is it Carter? Is it Sadie? Like,
it can't be one
could
of the
it be
kids.
that you're the one you've been waiting for?
That doesn't work for me.
Okay.
In the power scale, like, I want it to be Amos. But I also... It feels like it's Amos and that he's going to come beat up Vlad the Inhaler and he's going to be like, I'm number 2. And he was number 3. And now somebody else is number 3 because I cleared him. Maybe. We'll see.
I can't wait. I love Amos. Poor guy. We also, in addition to things we already talked about, we have Carter doing some real classic like wizard stuff and using his scrying bowl to try to figure out where Zia is, and then some real classic adolescent stuff by being like, what do I think of when I think of Zia? Like, what's her identity? Her bedroom. Like, let me think about Zia's bedroom, like where I first felt close to her, like what that looks like. I was a little bit like, okay, get out of there.
Yes. And I think that we've made this comment about, oh, you don't really know her, you were dating a clay doll this whole time, etc. But I do think that part of that is actually very reflective of the teenage experience. That you're kind of making this whole thing out of someone who you maybe don't know that well. Like there is a lot of interpolation and extrapolation inherent to that phase of life, I feel. And that's kind of what's going on.
Speaking of, it's time to see Anubis again. Let's take an ad break and we'll be right back. Guys, I lived for this chapter. Chapter 7, we have female friendship. We have the return of Anubis. We have Lisa Frankenstein style, like, gothic romance in a cemetery. We have new characters. We have...
with people dressed presumably like Lisa Frankenstein and Sadie's friends.
Sadie's friends, I am obsessed with them. I'm obsessed with Sadie's friends. Speaking of, like, never having had a Walt before, these two, like, mortal girlies who get to be involved in a fight, like, that's not a dynamic we get a ton. Like, harkening back to Rachel Elizabeth Dare, you know, like, being able to, like, be drawn into the world, but then also participate in it, and provide humorous commentary at the same time. I love these girls. I love how Sadie says that she was surprised, you know, at the end that their heads didn't, like, melt, but also at the same time, like, she's Sadie Kane, like, she's not friends with, like, weak girls. Like, girls have to be pretty nuts to be friends with Sadie. So she has these super cool, like, mean girl friends. They like, I think I wrote down the one quote about how they would usually be spending their time.
Yeah, if they would literally do the burn book from Mean Girls.
Yes, wait, page 116. My mate stared at me, mystified and scared, and the enormity of my problem suddenly came crashing down on me. A year ago, Liz, Emma, and I would have been riding this train to Funland or to the cinema. We would have been laughing at the ridiculous ringtones on Liz's phone or Emma's photoshopped pictures of the girls we hated at school. Love.
Updated for a micro generation of difference is we're not sharpieing them up on a physical print. We're photoshopping.
Also,
on Canva.
Period piece, we're talking about different ringtone sounds.
Yeah.
It is a great period piece element. I agree.
So good. Because they're, like, on their Motorola Razors, because Sadie's also listening to her iPod.
With the phone charms that we now look at as retro. Yeah. Well, anyway. We're in London. It's Sadie's POV. Granny and Grandpa are possessed.
It's time for the gun to go off of Chekhov's 10 minutes to summon something from the Duat. That was a quick one.
Yeah. Some of the Chekhovian things are fast. You have to vary the timing, plausibly random timing, in order to have it be an effective fire, right?
Yeah.
Granny
Neckbutt made me laugh out loud.
Possessed by Neckbutt.
Neckbutt got an out loud chortle from me when I was listening to the audiobook today. Neckbutt,
and she's so proud of herself.
Yes.
She just says that is it to remind us that we're in Britain again. And also she's so proud, like, in her internal monologue, she's being like, I ate that. Carter normally knows all these dumb book facts, and look at me, I remembered something. I'm a teacher now. I'm a leader of children. and of course the goddess's name is Neckbutt. But shout out to Sadie for mostly knowing. Vulture Goddess, who is here because she is trying to stop that flop Ra from getting yanked out of retirement. She doesn't trust it. She wants somebody young and strong. Joining her is, what is his name again?
Bobby.
Is Bobby. Bobby, B-A-B-I, not B-O-B-B-Y or B-O-B-B-I or B-O-B-B-I-E or whatever other. Not short for
No,
Robert.
keep going.
I-E.
I think that B-O-B-B-I-E is like a delightful, fun and fresh name of a girl born in like 2006.
Yeah. Okay, joining us also are Emma, Elton John's South Asian daughter, and Liz, the ginger that Sadie likes to make fun of.
The best friends.
I think that this is a way of doing a trio that is so immediately evocative, but still feels a little bit fresh and still feels necessarily British to me, which as an American reader, I did need. I was like, how are we going to immediately Brit code these kids in a way that doesn't feel too tropey and annoying? And for me, this was the right amount of, like, it was a trope, but I do think that that's a real human child.
The concept of Rick Riordan being like, who's the most British person I can think of?
Who's British and like a little bit fun and quirky? Elton John.
Nailed it.
It's true. There's also such great commentary throughout these chapters of Sadie being like, but it's still my birthday. Where she's like, oh God, like looking back, I can appreciate what a miserable birthday I was having. But at the time I was too panicked to properly feel sorry for myself. Or like Emma or Liz like dropped my present. dang it, as we were running for our lives.
Aww.
And then Anubis comes back and is literally so hot that her friends are speechless. That was wild.
Yeah.
He says, come into my territory, opening the cemetery gate. We need to talk. There isn't much time. I immediately thought of Haku, like, you know, in the
Spirited Away.
The grasses of Spirited Away, but like if Haku was also Nico D'Angelo, unbelievable character.
Oh, and fun London fact number 1, this cemetery can't exist.
Yes, explain.
So we know through things that they live near Canary Wharf. Canary Wharf is the second financial district of London. That's right, London has 2. It's stupid. And that area used to be the Docklands. So to be fair, they did make it much nicer, which means it was just industry. You wouldn't put a church in the middle of industry. That's weird. And before that, it was a bog. So
yeah, I think it's very chic to have a city that only has cemeteries in certain neighborhoods, because that's true urbanism. New York, if there's a cemetery in Manhattan, it's like not in the numbers, right? Like that's one of the municipal laws, is that like they don't let you do all that. It's probably, if there's a cemetery in New York, it's probably in Queens. San Francisco, there's exactly one cemetery, and it is for vets in the national park at the northern edge of the city, and everything else you have to like take a freeway, because we don't do that here. Land is expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Hold your horses. It's like 2 cemeteries in Tokyo. Yeah, like that's a lovely detail. But at the same time, cemeteries are where you need to go to have your clandestine third space, netherworld, literally half in the land of magic conversations with your immortal maybe boyfriend.
So far off from being they are in a wild situationship right now. He just shows up to like give advice and says
a
like
situationship when she's literally just turned 13. I think we have to use like a kid word.
What would we have said in middle school?
Like, so how do we, just while you're thinking about the words, how do we feel about the whole age thing?
Poorly?
I think that we need to be able to full compartmentalize this into some sort of fictionalizable
So fictionally
metaphor.
He is 16. That's the age that Rick has given us to age him fictionally as 16.
That's the age that Sadie sees him as. Like
he said
Carter doesn't think this. Carter thinks he's a dog.
This is true. Carter cannot see hot Anubis.
And I feel like her friends don't make any comment about him being older in this chapter, do they?
Obviously, if it were 16, 13, that would be bad. If it is immortal 13, that's probably bad, but also some other nebulous third thing. It's Goblin, it's Dracula, it's...
Fictional, sometimes you have to go,
And I do think that like Rick is doing his best to plant all of our arrested development seeds of he still talks like a teenager. He's afraid of getting in trouble with his parents and his aunts and his uncles. His language is quite immature, and it seems clear that he is not a serial dater, that he also does not have extra knowledge about relationships to predatorily bring to bear.
No, it's both their first thing, whatever we've decided.
Something.
Thing. Yes. Yeah. It's very different, even in the trope fall of like the Darkling, I'm thinking is the first thing that comes to mind, and Alina and Shadow and Bone, like the immortal boy and the girl who is his like immortalized age like right
every
now.
Every vampire narrative too. Yeah.
Every vampire narrative. It's not that, because he is explicitly like at an arrested development stage.
Yes.
It's not like the god Zeus appearing in the form of a 16-year-old boy. Like we are to understand him as a 16-year-old
whatever Zeus
boy.
does.
Yeah, or a swan.
Or a
16-year-old swan.
Not to put too much of a thing on this, I'm going to allow myself to enjoy this because I know that Rick lands the plane. In my opinion, I'm just going to say that.
Nice. I do like to hear that.
Controversial. I mean, obviously, we love to listen and learn from other people's perspectives. It is my strong opinion at this juncture that by the end of this trio of books, Rick really lands the plane on this whole situation.
It is good.
I also think, like, as a former 12-year-old, okay. I look forward to that. As a former 12-year-old girl, I'm just so locked in for Sadie's perspective on this. Is all I could like. I don't think about it because
everything she is seeing.
What her POV, like thinking this like beautiful boy with the dog, the floppy hair, and you know the dog face is like leading her into a cemetery. This is so weird. 12-year-old girl core. Everybody should watch Lisa Frankenstein if you can see R-rated movies.
Yellow Cody.
Yes. And he literally, well, he says that she has to go to Russia. It's time for her to go to my Petersburg and get Vlad's part of the scroll.
Plot in it.
He says happy birthday in it and kisses her and then melts into the mist, leaving her alone with her two best friends in the cemetery. That is imagery. That's a 12-year-old experience.
I just feel like everything about this. My favorite poll quote from this is this moment where this exchange. We primates, I said. Sorry, did you call me a baboon? Anubis stared at me with a kind of confused awe. I had forgotten how irritating you are.
It's good.
That's all. That's all I wanted to share. I think that this to me is some of the most genuinely, I'm including across gender instances, sexuality instances. This is the most like tee-hee-hee, kick your little legs up type of dialogue that Rick, in my opinion, has ever written and probably will ever write.
I'm doing it right now.
It is kind of shocking to me. Like, there were some moments writing this, I was like, how did he do this? What is he tapping into that allows him to so perfectly capture what would be exciting about being a 13-year-old girl who can't quite verbalize that she's like really into like post Vivienne Westwoodism,
Dogman,
being super into Dogman, Cemetery Boy, like. But he does. He really knows it intimately. It's fascinating.
I actually love this so much. I think we have to go back to the word compartmentalizing because I have to compartmentalize and just imagine that Sadie and Anubis are the same age. Just because I have to enjoy this. This is so good.
Yeah, no, the immortal bit that can go out the window. It's whatever that age. It's just
Yeah. I think magical arrested development is the key term that we must loop back to. I love that her friends are so gagged by this too. They're like, "Was that your boyfriend?" As soon as he leaves.
Real.
And then we get the whole like female friendship chapter right after that, where they get to like go on the train. And again, they're not going to Funland, they're not going to the cinema. But she's still like riding the train with her friends and screaming on the Jubilee line, you said, Owen?
Yeah. Because Canary Wharf to Waterloo, Jubilee line. It's the only one that exists. The Elizabeth line didn't exist back then.
We like the Elizabeth line. The Elizabeth line is air conditioned.
Purple train. That
was the only one I wanted to get on almost exactly a year ago, a year ago to the day that I was with Owen in London.
Crazy. It's not the only air conditioned one though. The subsurface lines are also air conditioned, but you know, I just needed to say that fact. We can ignore it.
Fact. As she's talking to her friends from this quote that we read earlier about photoshopping girls that they hate, she comes to feel despair, which she says, despair much worse than the vulture goddess's wings, overwhelming her. Despair at like losing her childhood, despair at growing apart from her friends. Her friends are there to support her. They like understand immediately that she's in a tough spot and they're like, we believe you immediately, but also they say that she's changed and that she's more mature now. And she feels this like melancholic reaction to that of feeling like she's growing apart from her friends. And that like broke my heart.
It's well treated. I think that the
ephemera of girlhood,
the pacing situation of these two chapters is wild. They are so stuffed, and they're really, I think, effectively serving all of these emotional beats that we need to have. That like, this is our Sadie with friends moment. This is our Sadie general nostalgia. How have I grown? How has that been beneficial? What am I leaving behind?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They then destroy the subway station.
Well, actually, they destroyed the mainline station officially.
Right.
They climb out of the tunnels, which apparently somehow Babby was running in, but yeah, sure. And then, they destroy
would have died of heat stroke.
The mainline station. Body Shop goes everywhere. That goes everywhere. Everything goes everywhere. Smith's is probably absolutely ransacked. Terrible time. Hopefully the clock hasn't fallen down. the famous Waterloo clock in many a film.
From the ABBA song.
That's a different Waterloo.
Napoleon did not make it over to the island.
Nope.
Not that island. He made it over to the other one.
Got forced to
and
the
then
other
we have
one.
the fight on the bridge. The fight on the bridge, isn't it? We got the mortal friends involved. And this also, like you were saying, Carter, like hitting on all of the different things. It's a great for the beginning of the book to just set up like, here's what we're fighting for, right? Like Sadie's like, I have to protect grandma, grandpa. Even though they're not the best grandparents, they're still my family. I have to protect my best friends. Like I'm doing this and I'm trying to save the world. Like not only are we like in a broad, vague sense trying to rescue the world from chaos and Apophis, we do have to like take care of our individual relationships. Even if we can never be a part of their world ever again, because now we're old magicians.
Yes. And these train station scenes are really giving us that modernization energy of like full clash, old world, modern world. That moment where she drinks the potion and reanimates everything in the station to attack the baboon army that has assembled is gonna look beautiful when we adapt this. But also,
yes, Quinta.
I would like us to really commit to this bit that Quinta Brunson's first post-Abbott project will be the adaptation for Disney Plus. Which is not a bit, it's simply what's going to happen. But
Chekhov's Quinta Brunson show running Kane Chronicles.
I don't know. Yeah, the clash imagery that they're giving us of the modernity clashing with the ancient Egyptian stuff, I think is also important for us to recenter. The Brooklyn Museum didn't quite do that for me. Because in this book, there are a lot of these places that we go to that are like nominally modern, but are museums or someone's house.
Have the old things in them.
They're sites that are themselves contested and liminal and don't give us this full sense of like what it is that we're fighting for, what the world has become that allows us that time to reflect on tradition and modernity and those intersections.
Yeah,
but. We leave the train station and meet our new friend who's going to be with us for the next handful of chapters. It is Bess. How do we want to talk about this?
This is some wild language being thrown around about making, I don't even know, commentary about whether or not they can call him the dwarf god. I would like to be left out of the conversation.
I will throw out that the light reading that I have done about Bess indicates that there are many adjectives that could be used to describe Bess. Bess is a household deity. So people would often have personalized, like Omakua type, like personalized relationship to Bess. There would be personalized statuary even, and Bess would be there to ease the burdens of daily life, to assist with matters of family and childhood and all manner of domestic sphere stuff, akin to maybe like a Hestia type figure.
Yeah.
I don't know that any of that came through in this description, which seems a little more focused on other aspects of Bess, some of which I think are strange because of the opinions they have about, not the opinions, but I think there's a lot of hangups about little people that are maybe of a time. And there is also some, I think, language about taxi drivers that I found
he's like a limo. Yeah.
I don't know.
I was confused.
Totally.
If this book came out in 2026, he would have been like an Uber driver for sure.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. It's interesting that he's described as having an American accent. I don't really know what to do with that, but.
Here's a question. Who's best possessing?
Oh.
Sometimes they forget, Rick forgets to acknowledge this, but officially, technically, every time we meet a god in the real world, they're possessing something or someone.
That is
so
such
he's
an
probably possessing random British limo driver, and maybe the accent isn't a feature of the body of the host.
Every time you see a god, just like in the back of your mind, think about what or who they are possessing.
Yeah. Whose body is somewhere in there.
Is it because Bast said goodbye from New York? I'm going to get my friend for you. Is this guy, did Best then show up in New York City, inhabit the body of the nearest New York taxi person, magicked himself to London, and then got into a British limo?
That's why I thought it was so interesting, because they're both such iconic taxi cities. And we're not really trying to lean into either of those. as the trope. Like there's no mention about whatever, like a British accent, the knowledge, whatever. And there's also no medallion, there's no yellow, there's, I don't know. Interesting. We're in the liminal space on Bess and modernity.
Mm-hmm. We wouldn't win the fight without Bess, though. So it's a good thing that Bast sent adult assistants along. The most important thing about this fight to me is that Sadie invokes the power of Zia, as she is kind of bossing her friends around in this moment and leading the fight, thinking about Zia and how she doesn't want to be bossy like Zia, but also really admires her bravery and her courage and her badassery in this moment and thinks of her.
Yeah, it's literally like, I'm being Zia and talking to past Carter and Sadie right now. It's like,
yes.
It's not even like metaphorical. It's like, no, this is literally what happened.
Yeah.
I told my friends what Zia told me to do.
Yeah, which is a great end to the chapter, section of chapters all about taking on this responsibility role and becoming the teacher. And then also she does the protect hieroglyph, which again, great end to the chapter about friendship and grandparents and these interpersonal relationships that we're trying to save. And then Carter and Walt are able to show up at the very last second so that we can all go to Russia together.
Owen's fun fact about London number 2. This entire fight on the bridge is in view of Cleopatra's Needle.
Ooh.
Which I didn't realize until semi-recently when I saw it when I saw Cleopatra's Needle for the first time. But
right. She does say very explicitly in this chapter that she's so close to where her mother died.
Yes, literally you can see it from the bridge.
Yeah. Any further thoughts?
We ready to go to Russia?
Deeper into Europe.
Is Russia Europe? Europe's a liminal space in itself. It's not a continent, it's a
fake
vibe.
Continent boundary. Is it just some mountains? Are you kidding?
It's no, it's not even a mountain. It's vibes. It truly is vibes. Just to spoil everyone's fun, I am gonna reveal a spoiler right now, but Liz and Emma never appear again. Bye.
No,
Yeah.
I loved them.
That's the goal. I
it.
think that's maturity.
Yeah, that's true. In keeping with the arc of Great Despair. That's kind of surprising to me, knowing that Sadie doesn't have a line in this chapter that's like, I had a feeling I'd never be riding the tube with my friends again. Like classic
And she
Riordan
would.
line. Well, we will be heading to Russia next week for the next 4 chapters. Owen, would you like to promote your stuff?
Yes, come listen to Through the Mist. It's a Void Verse Day podcast where we look at law and try and figure out how it all works. Headline, I mean, this is a semi-spoiler podcast, but I spoil everything constantly. It's the only way it makes sense. So if you haven't caught up with the Kane Chronicles, I spoil that often. The Kane Chronicles are surprisingly useful to working out how everything fits together. How you can make everything one universe. A lot of it comes from the Kane Chronicles. And it's partly the fact that they explicitly mention other gods a lot more than the others do.
And we skipped over the line, I think, in Carter's section, right? Where he sees a flying horse
Pegasus
in Brooklyn.
in Manhattan, yeah.
Yes, Blackjack spotted.
And we also, earlier, we met Felix for the first time. Love Felix, penguin guy, who gets a shout out in Trials of Apollo. So
wow. Never would have realized that. That's amazing. You've heard of Riordan Wiki. We were talking about the Riordan Wiki last week. You know what's better than the Riordan Wiki? The fandom wiki?
Through the Mist.
Owen's podcast. Yeah, check out Through the Mist. We will link Owen's show and socials in our show notes, and we will see y'all next week for the next 4 chapters. Shout out
y'all.
Sadie, love of my life. Bye.
bye.